welcome back to CTN Journal. I'm Jennifer Anderson. In the doldrums of winter, a Coon Rapids woman surrounds herself with the color and warmth of yarn. She says it's her little bit of sunshine all year long.
It just, makes me think of my grandmother every time I do it.
Each stitch keeps tradition alive.
Yes, it does.
And brings the community a little closer.
No,
That's the hope Kim Johnson has for her shop, Yarn Tales 1.
I hope that they feel welcome here, that it's kind of a warm, cozy feeling.
Kim's grandma Elsie first introduced knitting to her. The craft was later nurtured by two late friends, both whose pictures hold a place of honor inside her shop. For Kim, that sharing of knowledge is what makes the craft so meaningful.
That'll be fine. Yeah. I think it's the idea of tradition and, carrying on from generation to generation. It's just a family connection as well as the community at large.
Kim opened her yarn shop in downtown Anoka last summer with a rainbow of colors and the promise to be allergy-friendly.
Yeah.
Yarn Tales 1 found a niche by specializing in plant-based fibers, choices like cotton, hemp, and linen, which are more forgiving on sensitive skin than the wool yarns traditionally found at most retailers.
One lady that comes in here, when she goes to other yarn shops, she always takes a friend with her so that she can have the friend pick the yarn up because she doesn't want to touch it until she knows it's not wool. But she comes in here and doesn't have to have anybody else here with her, and she just, it's so wonderful just to come in here and be able to touch everything. Because part of yarn shopping is the very tactile sense of being able to touch it and feel it and pick it up and, just see how soft it is.
It was a need Kim herself wanted to fill after struggling with sensitive skin of her own.
Oh, yeah.
She recalls the itchy wool uniforms she wore for decades. Kim spent 32 years on active duty in the Marine Corps. From Okinawa to Iraq, Kim traveled the world before retiring as an assistant chief of staff for the 2nd Marine Logistics Group. Even in the midst of a successful military career, yarn still found its place in her life.
But it's one of those things that you can pick up and put down over years. So like I learned when I was 5, I probably didn't touch any knitting stuff again till I was in the 4th grade, put it down again till I was in junior high, put it down again till high school, put it down again until I was on active duty. And they had a yarn locker at the Navy Marine Corps Relief Society where you could go in and get yarn and you could knit projects, layette sets for newborn babies for the young Marine families.
Even though her military career took her around the globe, Kim considers herself a lifelong resident of Coon Rapids and says she always wanted to retire in her hometown and start a small business close to home.
Cool.
Since opening, Yarn Tales 1 has garnered its own following of local knitters, which is exactly what Kim had hoped would happen.
I mean, even the folks that knit with wool like to come in here and sit because they just like the atmosphere.
It's an atmosphere carefully curated by Kim herself. She strives to surround her customers with every color of the rainbow.
It makes me happy. It's a nice experience to come into work every day and just, even if it's cold outside or whatever, it feels sunny in here because of all the colors. So it's almost like summertime all the time.
And in this shop, lingering, chatting, and sharing is encouraged. No topic is off limits.
A lot of yarn shops will have policies where you can't talk about politics and things like that. I don't personally care if they talk about that stuff as long as they listen to each other.
In Yarn Tales 1, Kim may be weaving together some traditions of her own.
It's really all about community. So I think it's a way of sharing ideas and trying to get the community to understand each other a little better.
You may wonder why Kim decided on Yarn Tales 1. Well, she says she was very attached to the name, but then discovered another Yarn Tales in Australia. So she decided to add the number 1. Yarn Tales 1 is on Main Street in Anoka and is open Wednesdays through Saturdays.